Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video about the makeup products I would immediately repurchase if I lost all of my makeup, if my makeup bag slash area, it's not really a makeup bag at this point, but if all of that went kapoof, what are some of the products that I would just be like, okay, this is how I want to rebuild. These are the products that stick in my mind that I just think about often. I really need to close that door, but yeah, my cats are on the balcony, so I can't close it, and I gotta keep an eye on them. So if you hear like the cars and ambiance outside, then we're just gonna say that it is adding to the ambiance of this video for all intents and purposes. You could also call this a Holy Grails video, but it's really hard for me to do Holy Grails because so many products are good for different reasons, or I would like want to have in my collection for different reasons. So it's difficult to say this is the be-all end-all favorite for me in any category, but again, these are ones that just stick out enough in my mind and that I know just I always end up doing a look that I enjoy when I use these. So anyway, let's just stop the chatter and get into this video. I honestly don't have any strong feelings about eyebrow products or eyeshadow primer. Like, I have kind of favorites or ones that I use pretty regularly in those categories, but nothing that I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I need to go out and run and get it. Like, I would probably just get whichever one was available at whatever store I was at. But as far as eyeshadows, I did pick a palette, even though I think that single shadows in a version of me that is more mature and only wants to do one eyeshadow look, or like 2 or 3 eyeshadow looks I should say, that version of me would probably do single shadows and, you know, kind of curate a collection that way. But the version of me that is just like, I need to have as many shades in the type of, you know, realm of shades, I guess I should say, that I enjoy for myself, that will create a wide range of makeup looks, cool, neutral, warm. Like, I just need something that is more multifunctional. So I would choose the Nabla Cosmetics Side by Side palette. Again, there's a few palettes in my collection that I think I would choose as well, or could choose, but this one in particular just sticks out the most in my mind. It's one that when I have an event, or I, you know, am going to take pictures with my sisters or something like that, I usually will pull out this palette and use it because I can always find a look that I like. And as you can see, there is a wide array of colors. We've got some cool tones, we've got neutral tones, we've got warm tones, you know, we've got a little bit of everything in this palette, and you know, even a gold. The shimmers in here are absolutely magnificent. They're some of the best shimmers. I think Nabla Cosmetics eyeshadows in particular, like as a brand, I feel like they're not really talked about that much, but their eyeshadows, especially these shimmer shadows, are some of the best that you can get, and I feel like, again, just not enough people talk about them. So again, this would be my eyeshadow pick. Even in here, there's a deeper black liner shade that you could use for liner. So like I said, this is just so multifunctional. I feel like I could get an array of looks out of this and not feel constricted. I don't feel any particular way about eyeliners either, even liquid liners. I find that I have some that I really like, but each one I would kind of tweak to make a little bit different. And honestly, with liquid liner, I don't really use liquid liner that much. Pencil liners, I haven't really found anything that is just like gripping me, honestly. So I probably would, since I often do more smudgy liner, just use an eyeshadow. But mascara, I will say I do have a mascara that I would probably just automatically pick up, and it's the Essence Lash Princess. This is a waterproof one. The waterproof one is fine. I mean, it works pretty much the same, except it's more waterproof. I don't think that this is completely waterproof. Sometimes it feels a little flaky. I prefer the one that is in the green tube, the original version, but this is just the one that I currently have on hand. And I really like the Honest Beauty mascara that I've been using and talking about in pretty much all of my videos as well. That's a great mascara, but I just feel as though I would probably go towards the Essence, because as you'll see, there's kind of a mixture of like expensive products and less expensive products. And the Honest Beauty mascara, that one is $20, and it's like, I don't think I would spend $20 on mascara in particular when there are so many other ones that are good that I can just like use. Like, I would spend $20 on it if I hadn't just lost all of my makeup, you know what I'm saying? But if I just wanted something to get me restarted, I would go with, you know, Essence Lash Princess, or even a CoverGirl mascara. That's probably another one, like one of the Lash Blasts. I used to love the Lash Blast in the green tube in particular. I don't use Maybelline anymore, but Maybelline mascaras used to be amazing, and I'm sure they still are. Maybelline was honestly my favorite over CoverGirl, but CoverGirl is now cruelty free, so you know, we gotta weigh things. But Essence is also cruelty free, and they didn't have to go through a whole bunch of gymnastics like I did to do that. Face primer is another area where I'm just kind of like, whatever I use is just whatever I use. It probably wouldn't be something that if I lost all of my makeup or was restarting my collection that I would purchase personally. But for concealer, the first one that I would purchase is the Lip Bar concealer. This is my absolute favorite concealer that is still actually available, because I have a lot of concealers that are discontinued, but this one is so amazing. It looks not creasy, not cakey underneath the eyes. It doesn't crease that bad. That's what not creasy means, duh. It also doesn't look dry. It doesn't feel dry. It looks brightening without being like too brightening. It just always works. Again, this is one where if I am wanting to have a flawless base, I will probably incorporate this or use this in my base routine. And likewise, their skin tint, this is the Just a Tint skin conditioner, 3-in-1 tinted skin conditioner. I have the shade Honey Dip, and if you're curious, I have the shade Cinnamon in their concealer. But I also love this because even though it's a skin tint, it does have a nice amount of coverage. It's not a skin tint that feels just like a layer of nothing on the skin. It also has some SPF. It's only SPF 11, so of course you're gonna need, you know, other supplemental SPF, but a little bit more is never going to be an issue. An extra layer is never going to hurt you. It can only really help you. This also just has a very beautiful skin-like finish. It's not dewy, but it's also not matte. I would say it's more of a natural slash satin type of finish on the skin, so it just really looks good in a whole bunch of different occasions, works well with a whole bunch of different products. Again, these two together are just amazing, and I love both of them. I can feel myself like kind of almost done with this. Like, this tube feels really, really light, so I probably don't need to repurchase anything because, you know, my makeup collection is big enough. I can cycle through and finish what I have. But this is one where, like, right now I'm even thinking like, once I get to the point where it's sputtering, I would want to repurchase it because I just know that I like to have this one on hand. For setting powders, it was kind of a toss-up between two of them because I like both of these, and I feel like I kind of like them for separate reasons and they serve separate purposes. So would I buy both of them if I were restarting my collection? No. I would probably buy one or the other, but just depending on where I was with my makeup journey at that point would determine which one of these I would, I guess, be more likely to purchase. So the first one is the Fenty Beauty setting powder. I have the shade Honey, which I don't know, I didn't see this shade on Sephora's website, I think, but I want to say it was available on the Fenty website and on Ulta's website. I don't know if certain shades are just going to become exclusive to different retailers now that Fenty is in both of them. Again, I don't know, but I really do like the Fenty Beauty powder. It is a little bit more of a mattifying powder, which is why I said that, you know, if I were in a more like dewy era, could I use this and, you know, put setting spray on top of it? Of course, that's often what I do anyway, but it is just a little bit more mattifying. So if I'm looking for a dewier look, it could take away a little bit from that, but otherwise it helps with my makeup not creasing, helps with it not moving. I can blend cream and liquid products on top of it just fine, as well as other powder products, so I don't have to worry about what formulas I'm matching with it and all of that. It just takes the guesswork out of your makeup routine. So again, I really like this one for that reason, but I also really do like the Glossier Water Powder, and this one definitely allows the skin to retain a little bit more of a natural or even dewy finish to it. It's just not quite as mattifying, and I do find that this is just a little bit lighter. It definitely feels more like natural, my skin but better type of makeup, whereas the Fenty can feel a little bit, you know, matter, full coverage, like I'm going out baking in the club, like all of that. So it really just depends. I feel like I would probably realistically go with the Glossier powder over the Fenty powder, but there's just something about this powder that, again, it always really works for me, so it's really hard to say. I grab for these interchangeably in different scenarios, so again, it's just a little bit more difficult to like pin that one to just one product. Anyway, moving right along into what would be the next category, bronzer. Bronzer, I also had two bronzers, just because I, again, like both of them, and honestly, they're pretty similar to one another. One is just a less expensive version, but I really like the Huda Beauty Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream. This one is the shade medium, and obviously if this is the shade medium, and I think there's like 2 or 3 shades deeper than my complexion, or the one that I use, like the shade range is shade ranging. This also is just really nice and creamy. It blends out well. It sits on top of powder and other products really well, and it's just, again, another product that's not very fussy. That bird is chirping. And then the Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm in the shade Deep. This is ColourPop's sister brand. This is very similar. The only reason I also included this is, again, it is a little bit less expensive, so I could see myself like gravitating toward it versus getting another high-end product when I already have some products that are, I would say, more non-negotiable for me to have at certain price points, I guess. I don't know, but also this shade in particular, it's just like a step lighter than the Huda Beauty one, and sometimes when my skin gets a little bit lighter in the fall and winter like it currently is, I think I described myself in my last video as vampiric, and honestly that's how I feel. I feel just so pale. I want to slap on some, I might actually slap on some self-tan because I'm taking Christmas photos with my sisters, so I kind of want to be more bronze goddess, but the Tantour, with it being a little bit deeper when I am getting fair, it can sometimes look a little, I don't want to say muddy, but when your bronzer or contour is too deep for your skin tone, it can definitely look just muddy. It can just like not really blend that well no matter how much or how little you use, and it's not really, again, the fault of the product. It's just like the way that shades work. So again, I would probably gravitate towards the ColourPop one or the Soul Body one just because it is a little bit lighter, and I feel like it would work for more of the year. Into blush, I have 2 blushes, a powder version and a cream version. The first time that the options are actually a powder and a cream version of something, and the cream version would be the Phytosurgeon Skin Spark blushes. This is the shade Inferno in particular, which I feel like would be a really nice restarting the collection color because it is kind of like a pinky coral shade. Like, it has just enough warmth in it to complement more warm tone looks, but because it has a little bit of pinkiness in it as well, it's can also stretch for my more neutral and cool tone looks. So the formula on these is just immaculate. Like, I've had this one for years and you can see it still looks nice and creamy, so it's not gonna like dry out on you super soon. And again, I really just love these. They blend out really well in the skin, something that lays well on top of powders and other creams. Isn't a fussy product. That's kind of the, I guess, word or phrase of this video. Just things that aren't fussy, that work together with other products well, and that I don't have to think too much about. The other one is Broken, the Mented Cosmetics blush in Clay Too Much. I absolutely love this blush. As you can see, it's a kind of like brick reddish type of shade, and it again is one that just complements an array of looks. It looks so good on my skin and gives me that like winter, just been outside, flushed, cold type of look. So again, one that I absolutely love, and you know, I'm gonna keep it in this little packaging until it runs out, honestly, or until I inevitably like drop it or something happens to it, lose it, whatever the case may be. For highlight, there was only really one that I could think of, because I like highlight, but I feel like highlight is just something where it's like, oh, I could just use a more glowy or more dewy blush and get on with it. So I again think of highlight as a little bit more functional, but my favorite highlight is the Nobla Skin Glazing highlights. This is the shade Lucent Jungle, which is a really nice bronzy gold shade, and it just, like, I feel like I just have to show you what it looks like so that you can understand what it is. So like, it just makes your skin have that very wet look to it. Like, it has some sparkle, of course, but the way that it hits off of the light, again, just makes it look like that wet, glassy type of look to it. So again, absolutely amazing formula, one that I feel like is not talked about nearly enough and that more people should talk about. Like, I honestly feel sometimes so constricted with my project pan because I think of products like this and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want to use that so bad, but I want to finish up my project pan products. But again, this is one that when I am going for a go-to, like quick, I need to look good, this is urgent look, that I will pull this out if I want to highlight. Lastly, with the face, I couldn't leave out Freck XL. I've been using this for years. I love making faux freckles, so this has just been my personal favorite faux freckle product for years. I mean, I like other ones, but this one is just really easy to use. You dot it on, transfer the freckles. You can use it with a beauty sponge, your finger, brushes. I've even used it with those little what are those, the puff pads, like all of those things. It's just a really easy product to use. I also like that it's not too warm tone and not too cool tone, because I feel like some other freckle products, that's the issue that I've had with them. Like, they're just too dark and cool toned looking, or they're really orangey. So I really, again, love this one. It is definitely, like I said, my personal favorite. For lips and lip liner, I would definitely go with the Milani Understatement lip liners. I have two more neutral shades, but that is only because I have so many lip liners I want to get through before buying more, and when I do purchase more, I probably will go for more of the Understatement lip liners, because these are really nice and creamy. They're a mechanical pencil, and I also just find that they last really well on the lips, especially when I use, you know, gloss products or more glossy emollient products instead of matte lip products. Those can often eat away at the lip liner underneath. With these, I usually find what will happen is I still see the lip liner on my lip line, and then like everything else inside is gone. So it kind of just looks like I put on lip liner and nothing else. But again, that makes it easier to top off on lip products, of course. And just, yeah, these are amazing. I really like them. I have in the past liked the NYX ones, but I just feel like these have topped it for me versus the NYX ones. if you ever want to know why I get distracted sometimes in videos, it's because of them doing all of their craziness, and I'm trying to ignore it, but I also have to like keep an eye on it because. And of course, lip products is going to be the most robust category. I would have different varying intensities of lip products. So for the lesser intensity, I would probably use the Phytosurgeon's lip balms. These are all of my little tester lab sample ones that I love them so much that I just keep using them, even though they have sent me some of the shades in the regular packaging, like the real finished product, but I'm just kind of like, that's okay. So Clear Coast, just a clear lip balm, feels really nice and nourishing on the lips without being like a shiny, more lip gloss heavy treatment on the lip. And then they are also, you know, this is a little teaser, but they're coming out with some brown lip balms, like more straight up browns. They have a few that are kind of like reddy rosy brown shades in their lineup currently, but that not really any that are just like a straight up brown. These are the more red rosy brown shades that they have. This one almost even looks like it has a reddish purple undertone. This is Brave Break, and then Warm Waves is again just one that is kind of a pinky brown or a brownie pink, whichever one you want to think of in that way. So again, really enjoyed these for just something quick to slap on. But if I do want a full pigment lipstick, especially like a brown or a neutral toned one, I'm gonna go in with Bare Brown from Tinted Cosmetics, because this is just the perfect brown my lips but better color. And again, I just really like the formula. It's matte without being super drying and, you know, sinking into every single line and making your lips just look crepey and dry. So again, a really nice formula. If I want something that is a little bit more glossy but also sheer, and this shade in particular I like using because it's more of like a coral color, this along with one of these lip liners, especially with the deeper lip liner, I love this combination together. This is the Milani, what is this called? They're like the Shine somethings, maybe. You know what it's called. This is the shade Lustful. Everything will be linked down in the description box. But again, I really like this for more of a corally orange type of shade. It's just coral and peachy enough to add a pop, but it is neutral enough to be more neutral, especially if I, you know, put a lip liner all the way underneath it versus just on the outer perimeter of my lips. And then finally, for a bold red lip, I definitely want something that's going to be more budge proof. And I feel like we don't talk enough about Give Beauty, and I understand that Gwen Stefani has said some and done some, you know, kind of ignorant things over the years, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, I feel like her makeup line is kind of slept on. I got sent these a while ago, but I still really like them. It's their I'm Still Here liquid lipsticks, and I have the shades Original Recipe, which is allegedly Gwen Stefani's like classic red shade. This is a, you know, brighter true red, and the shade that I really love is the shade Tartan, which is a deeper, almost oxblood red with a little bit of a kind of purple undertone to it. This one is so pretty, and I find myself wearing it a lot in the fall time. And admittedly, I feel like my lip products in this, and even maybe the cheek products, had a little bit more of a fall sway to them because we are currently in the fall and winter season. I might redo this video, you know, around spring and summertime to see if my answers would still be the same. But anyway, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the cats, you know, hopping in and out and everything. But if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. And if you like me and you like what I'm about and you're not already subscribed, why not subscribe? You're probably going to come back anyway. Anyway, I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy wherever you are when you're watching this, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.